It just got real. This is Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen, who went to El Salvador to see about Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He went to talk to the president and vice president of El Salvador to see if they can release Abrego Garcia today and or just to see if he's alive. Then he went in front of the cameras to talk to the press, and this is what the fuck happened.
And our Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Vice President of the United States are lying when they say that Abrego Garcia has been charged with a crime or is part of MS-13. That is a lie. And this is a lie to cover up what they did. They illegally abducted Mr. Abrego Garcia from Maryland and sent him to SICA, which is a notorious prison here in El Salvador. In fact, it's a prison where they say they send the worst of the worst, right? That's where they send the terrorists. Now, the courts of the United States have said there's no evidence to support the charge that he's part of MS-13. So I asked the Vice President whether or not El Salvador has any evidence that he's part of MS-13.
Do they?
And the government of El Salvador has no evidence that he was part of MS-13. Why is El Salvador continuing to hold him in SICA? And his answer was that the Trump administration is paying El Salvador, the government of El Salvador, to keep him in SICA.
Which again, the US is paying $6 million of taxpayer dollars for this prison, but it doesn't stop there.
And I pointed out that neither the government of El Salvador nor the Trump administration has presented evidence to support the claim that he's committed any kind of criminal act. And so why not release Abrego Garcia today?
Yeah.
And he said what President Bukele said the other day at the White House, that El Salvador can't smuggle Mr. Abrego Garcia into the United States. And I said, I'm not asking him to smuggle Mr. Abrego Garcia into the United States. I'm simply asking him to open the door of SICA and let this innocent man walk out.
Come on.
And I pointed out that the Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, has said that the United States would send a plane to El Salvador. to pick
Because
him up.
why?
And why did she do that? Because
Right.
the Supreme Court of the United States, in a ruling of 9-0, said that the Trump administration has to facilitate his return to the United States.
Here's where the shit gets worse.
So I asked the Vice President if I could meet with Mr. Abrego Garcia. And he said, well, you need to make earlier provisions to go visit CCOT. I said, I'm not interested at this moment in taking a tour of CCOT. I just want to meet with Mr. Abrego Garcia.
Come on.
Said he was not able to make that happen. He said he needed a little more time. I asked him if I came back next week, whether I'd be able to see Mr. Abrego Garcia. He said he couldn't promise that either. So I asked him if I could get on the phone, either a video phone or just a phone, and talk to Mr. Abrego Garcia. So I could just ask him how he's doing so I could report back to his family. He said he could not arrange that. He said maybe if the American embassy were to ask, maybe that could happen. So I will certainly ask the American embassy to ask the government of El Salvador to connect us by phone. So we have an unjust situation.
So you're telling me the president and vice president of El Salvador don't have the power to arrange a sit down between a senator and Abrego Garcia? Can't even get him on the phone? Hey, let me tell you something. I fear the worst has happened to Abrego Garcia. I fear that this man is no longer with us. I hope that I'm fucking wrong, but something ain't fucking right.